Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm Josh. Welcome to the Nightly from Hatch, where your late night thoughts go to rest. I'm going to be taking a listener caller in just a moment. But first I want to tell you about something that I think is kind of funny that is like a sweet thing that happens in my life from time to time. I think one like beautiful thing about being with a partner or like even having a close friend or a close relative in the long term is that you really get to know their like quirks and they get to know yours. And it's like such a fun thing to like really know someone's little things and like to accept each other. Even given the little foibles. I'm like, so like, here's the one that I want to talk about because my wife and I have been together for 12 years and neither of us have like tremendous spatial relations. Like, I can't look at a space and like really reorganize it in my mind. I just don't have that kind of visual skill. And my wife is very similar, but one way that that manifests is she will occasionally order a like way off wrong size of something, like usually way too much is how it goes. And it is so funny to me because it's never like a big problem. It's always just like a little hiccup in the plan. I think maybe the first time we noticed it was several years ago. She wanted to buy a little packet of like salts for the bath, a little bath salts package. And she bought what arrived was a bag of salt, like you would get salt to pour on your driveway during a blizzard. It was so much and it took up like a huge piece of our bathroom real estate to have. And recently we saw that our dog's big kind of fluffy donut bed that she loves to lay in needed to be replaced. And she ordered a dog bed that was like 7 times the size of our dog. And she said, I was out when it arrived and she sent me a little picture of our little pug next to this giant dog bed. And the text, I like started laughing just when I saw the text, which was, I did it again. And then I looked at the picture and laughed twice as hard. And I just thought that was like so funny and charming. And it like, I don't know. It's just nice. I'm sure she has things like that about me too that are like little silly things that I do that she's like, okay, he's at it again. Um, anyway, I'm excited to hear what little things are on our listeners' minds tonight. I would like to welcome Julia to the Pillow Fort tonight. Hi, Julia. Thank you so much for calling.
Hi, Josh. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure, truly. Where are you calling in from, Julia?
I'm calling from Long Beach, California.
Oh,
Are
right
you
on.
familiar with it?
I am. I have only been one time, and I went to see a really great concert there at the Long Beach Convention Center.
At the convention. Okay, this is a big concert. Yes.
Big show. Yeah, I went to the convention center and it was a lot of fun. I went and I was staying in the desert with my wife's parents and I got 2 tickets and my wife was like, I don't feel up to a concert, but like you should go and just like have a little drive to yourself. We've all been together for a while.
That's a long drive, actually. That's not a little drive.
I know. I thought I was going to be able to go out and back. And then by the time I like was really getting ready to leave, I was like, I should get myself a hotel for the night, which I did. So I didn't have to drive back all sleepy late at night. What has inspired you to call tonight? What would you like to chat about?
Okay. I've been thinking about this a lot because I have a son now who is 4 and is that unfortunate / fortunate reflection of the things that I am and the things I don't want to be and everything else, as well as being his own person.
Of course.
And I have thought about this thing, which has sort of plagued me for a long time, ever since I realized that this was something that afflicted me, which is I have an extremely readable face. I
Okay.
have a overactive face. There's like there will be a lot of expression going on it, and things happen on my face without me realizing at all.
Sure.
And um, do you understand what I mean?
I do understand what you mean. Do you find that there are specific feelings that you convey more often without knowing, or is it just kind of across the board?
I mean, definitely, I realize now that confusion, concern comes across way more than I think it does.
Oh, interesting.
I think unfortunately, that's something that shows up. And then also, God forbid, I'm looking at myself on a Zoom. I'm horrified by my face. It's moving around constantly. It's like
Mhm.
it never stops. And the thing I have wondered is is it better to have easily readable facial expressions or be someone who has a face that gives away everything, or be someone who has an amazing poker face and is just hard to read? I also know people who are hard to read. It's like their face, it's like they're an enigma. I'm like, I don't know. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? You get to keep that to yourself until you want to.
You sound a little jealous.
I mean, I might be a little bit because it I think probably the expression helps you connect with people. If it's something positive, then they feel it. But also, if you are not wanting to convey something, it's coming out anyway.
Mhm.
Um, I used to produce something where it was like short stories, like read aloud, and the narrator, um, I can tell you who it is if you want, or you can cut this. It was LeVar Burton, and um, and I was so we had been doing this show for a while, and I would have a script, he would have a script, he'd be reading, we'd talk about it beforehand. Then he told me once, "Oh yeah, I just look up at your face while I'm reading, and I know how I'm doing, and if I need to retake something just by looking at your expression." And I was so horrified. I was like, I thought I had the best neutral expression where I'm like, I'm not bothering him. He doesn't know. I will, if I decide I want to say something, I can, but otherwise this is just he's in the moment. No. He apparently was like watching the roller coaster of my face and then going like, "Oh, that was a bad choice. Oh, that was good. Okay." And I was like, he told me that, and he was saying this as like, "Oh, it's great. I always know what to do." But I thought, no.
I think that's how you conveyed it. That's really funny that he just was like, you don't even have to say a word. I'm picking it up, but your feeling of that is like mortification.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
And your son is the same way, who's 4.
And my son is absolutely, you know it because his eyebrows are moving all over the place and his mouth is moving, and I'm not even talking about things like scowling, which of course, he will do, but um yeah, it moves all over the place. I I feel like I don't know if facial expressions are inherited
Mm-hmm.
because he makes he does the same smile, crooked half smile that my dad does, which I
Wow.
why would he is this just like a physical muscle facial he doesn't do it all the time. It's not his every smile every time, but he makes the same smile. Why?
So like when your son is really visible with a feeling that like maybe he
Mhm.
doesn't realize he's expressing, I maybe probably 4-year-olds aren't as self-conscious about like wanting to keep emotions to themselves. How does that make you feel when he's communicating that? Does that make sense as a question?
Yes. I would say it can be helpful because, I could maybe anticipate how something's going and maybe redirect. But also if I'm thinking of like, oh, this is a moment when we need to be polite, or this is a moment when
Hmm.
we need to really be mindful of what whatever it might be. It's not there. Also, I felt horrified. There was a magic show at school yesterday, and they sent
Okay.
us pictures of the whole class, pictures and videos of everyone enjoying the magic show, the audience, and every single kid is smiling and laughing like classic big kid smile, big
Hmm.
like smiles, and my son is just has like an eyebrow cocked, and he's like he's trying to like figure out what's happening or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, can you just not have just maybe just follow the crowd? Like,
That's
okay, just
that's
the other
so
kids are laughing, smiling.
I totally I understand that your observation of this, but like, are you worried that the magician will feel judged?
Bad.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's looking out in the crowd, and he's seeing a sea of smiling and laughing. And then he sees one kid who's like, I don't know what's going on here.
that's really funny. I mean, like, I do think though, personally, that showing like kind of deep focus and concentration is like one way of demonstrating that you're really engaged with what's happening, that you're like really really puzzling it out, especially for something like magic, where there like delight is a
True.
big part of it, but also there are other moments of like, what's happening here? And I think that's like maybe not dissatisfying for a magician to see like, I got him, you know, but I understand the bigger point. And also it does really sound like sometimes this accidental communication has been a gift in the past where like it did really make the host of your program seem it did really make the host of your program feel in tune with you as a producer.
True. True. Yes. That maybe it helped him feel like either confident or just that I'm I'm right I'm right in there. We're together. We're on the same page, or I can figure out how to get on the same page.
Yeah, well, because I'm not trying to like lead you to anything, but have you ever had a professional relationship or like a friendship or a romantic relationship with someone where you just like can't read them and you're like, they said good job, but was it a good job?
Definitely. Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and
And
so
then
like,
you're questioning everything.
yeah, and that kind of feels like the other side of the coin, right? Where like I think someone who's facially honest, let's say, is like,
Mhm.
unless they are really ill-tempered, it's like kind of nice to know the impact you're having on someone. Like if there's someone who just has a bad attitude and is like always frowning and always like, ugh, then it's like, well, that obviously will maybe hurt someone's feelings. But if it's, if someone sees you feeling quizzical about something they've said, I think that's like a really generous cue, even if it's accidental, for them to like elaborate or take another tack in what they're saying.
Right. Right. Not have to ask, but just go, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
because I
see this is puzzling.
but but I'm with you in terms of like sometimes there are things that I want to keep to myself for like politeness reasons.
Right. Exactly.
I'm the opposite way because I'm like kind of jealous of the way you're describing your reactions to things because I think I do a bad job of showing when I'm like displeased or dismayed with something, and people don't know. Like someone will go like, "How was that?" I'll
Right.
go, "Oh, I had a terrible time," and they'll go, I couldn't tell. You seemed like," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, yeah, I was holding it in." But other times, someone will, I think I will have voiced a displeasure. I'll go, I'd rather not. And then I go, if this is a priority for you, then it's okay with me, but it's not my first choice. And then I'll have a bad time and it won't seem like I'm having a bad time. And they'll go, how was that? And
Mm,
I'll go, I mean, it wasn't great. And they go, why didn't you say anything? And I go, well, I already said what I was feeling. You know what I mean? Like it feels like and I'm very from Massachusetts. This is not a Long Beach way to be,
Uh,
but like, this is like, I feel like, well, I said it and you replied with your reaction to that. And it doesn't feel like I would feel like that bit. I don't know. Have you seen the movie Wet Hot American Summer?
yes.
Okay, there's this famous bit. It's like they're celebrating the 25th anniversary this year, where Paul Rudd is one of the actors, and he's playing a camp counselor, and he knocks something, a cafeteria tray over, and
Yeah.
Janine Garofalo is the camp director, and she says, she's like, Andy, pick it up, and he's like, I'll do it later, and he's like, and she says, do it now, and then he makes this big like, okay, and it's like the whole time he's kind of flailing around, and that's like how I feel when anybody sees me betraying like any kind of displeasure, is like, oh, that's what I look like right now. I look like I'm going like, ugh.
Right. You're sort of making this big, like, grim over
A real
big
to do.
grimace, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
never want to be making a scene. Yeah. But but like, I do always appreciate when I can see how I'm making other people feel, or how other people are feeling in a situation that I'm also in.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You've made me feel better about this. And I I also understand what you feel about maybe that you look fine, but you're secretly not.
Secretly seething. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
can also be frustrating.
Totally. But I do get what you were saying of like wishing you had the skill set to do the other thing. Cause I do find that it's not like always I want people to see that. You know what I mean? But like, I do wish I could be more demonstrative. I just like don't quite know how. And I imagine there are times where like you are really conveying a feeling, whether it's joy or empathy or stress about something, like a mutual stress, and you're really
Mhm.
glad that people are able to, or maybe not, maybe you're like, nope, I never want anyone to know what I'm feeling.
I think it would be helpful if I had some sort of maybe mask that I could put on
Mm-hmm.
and off. I thought maybe that would help, maybe something that would actually like hold my facial muscles in place.
do,
So
do you mean that metaphorically, or like a literal like Phantom of the Opera style
I am
covering?
thinking a little bit literally.
Okay. See, now that's tough too. Because if you're putting that on at, specific times, I feel like people are going to like, Julia's face is up to
That's
something.
a cue in and of itself.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
true.
So I think you've got to just always be wearing the mask,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which feels excessive to me.
That really feels a little bit like maybe I don't want people to know what I am and who I am. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that feels like a little like keep your distance. What about it? Like, are there times when you feel grateful that people are able to read your feelings?
Yes. Yes, I think if I'm feeling enthusiastic about
Mm-hmm.
something, then it feels good. Like I feel like people probably appreciate being able to see the enthusiasm for something. That always feels good to know. Oh yeah, either whether it's your like something that you want to do together,
Mm-hmm.
um, or whatever. I think that's kind of a nice thing. It's a nice way to, even if I feel like I like Jim Carrey when
Mm-hmm.
if I look at if I
Talk
look
about a
at
mask.
myself on a Zoom or whatever. Yes, exactly. See, this is, I guess, where I'm coming from is maybe this is my origin story.
Mm-hmm. Um, well, thank you. This is like such a vulnerable thing of you to share. I mean, it seems like you could not have done otherwise, but
Well, here's the helpful thing. You can't see my face.
that's true. You're calling in on the phone. But I do think you have a very expressive tone. And I think that's like a real gift to the people you're communicating with. I think you're like a really impactful and effective communicator, even from just this phone call. And hearing the like emotion and feeling that you're investing in your words. And I imagine seeing it in your face is like a really helpful thing to have a conversation. Like I think if you were someone with a really flat vocal affect, even, it would make this conversation so much harder because I would have to do a lot more like, so why is that how do you feel about, is this okay? And I think like betraying a little bit of that in how you talk and how you look really helps people understand where you're coming from.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That does make me feel better about it, and that I feel like my son's not doomed also.
No, I don't think that's dooming anyone to a life of no secrets and constant judgment. I think it's like people will know where he stands. And I think that's its own kind of gift.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that.
Julia, thank you. It was so nice of you to call in. I really appreciate this conversation. And it really made me feel like grateful for your candor and your expressiveness. So thank you, and sleep well. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Wow. I'm like truly blown away by the honesty and the things people are willing to share. And it's really like a wonderful series of conversations that I've been having on the show. I'm like really, truly grateful. I wasn't just playing that up. I hope Julia comes to make a little peace with the idea that like she is using this extra tool to communicate that maybe not everybody employs, and that people appreciate when they know how you feel about something. And if you have something that you want to talk about that's like, I don't know, it helps to be kind of anonymized over a podcast and just kind of chat about something like that. Or if you just have something that you're really psyched about or confused about and want to cheerlead or even just like kind of complain, please do. This is what the show is, and I'm always so happy to hear from you. So send a voice memo or an email with your thoughts to thenightly@hatch.co, and we'll come up with a time to chat, or text or leave a voicemail at our phone number, 904-NIGHTLY. That's 904-644-4859. And before I let you go for the night, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody out there who doesn't have a poker face, because I think it's really beautiful that you're out there living every day transparent emotionally. I admire you. I appreciate you. And I hope you're feeling good, because everyone around you will be able to see that. So thank you for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Good night, everyone.